Hey guys, what's up? It's Baldo and welcome back to another episode of Tasking and Tarkov. In this episode, we're going to be tackling part 3 of the Shooter Born in Heaven series, where you're going to be running into Reserve and hitting up all of the good sniper spots. Reserve can be a pretty daunting map because there's a lot of different places you can go, but all of them are pretty easily accessible and very well known, so it's very easy to get counter sniped. So in my experience, a lot of this relies very heavily on getting to these spots first and picking off people before they can bother looking up and noticing you. But later on in the raid, these spots are either going to be vacated or there's going to be people running around avoiding these sight lines trying to get the loot that's inside the buildings or down to the bunker, so it's going to be nearly impossible to get those 100-meter headshots unless you extract camp, which I've been pretty clear about my opinion on extract camping. Not a big fan, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, get things done. So stick around to look at my favorite sniping spots on Reserve. We'll talk again after the video. Alright, so we spawned over here by the K building. It's actually a pretty good place to spawn, because we can run around all the outskirts of the map and hit up all these good sniping spots. So let's get to the first one and take a look. Now the first one is the Sniper Tower, very aptly named as the Sniper Tower. It's over by the Scavlands checkpoint here. So I do like this one because it gives you a shot all the way down the main road that runs from the Weewoo switch that turns on the hermetic door. Now, there's a few particular things I like about this specific tower over some of the other ones, such as that one and this one. Aside from the specific sightline it offers you, you can also lay down back here and get a shot on all of the Bishop building here. That's the stairwell. This is the stairwell, this is the drop down room building right here. So you can see people coming and struggling to jump out of the window here, or people up on the roof here, while also having these walls to protect you from all the other angles. Another spot you can come is lay down here, shoot people running across this walkway. Now I do know for a fact that this is over 100 meters because I got one of my Shooter Born in Heaven kills from here, shooting down to right about there. Plus you get shots all the way down across the top of the bunkers. Now if you're up here, obviously your backside is going to be exposed, so that's a little bit more dangerous. But early on in the raid, you'll know where the spawns are. You got to spawn over here, you got to spawn down here, you got to spawn over there. You've also got to spawn on the other side, so you might catch people running up this way. Next spot we're going to look is actually at that watchtower all the way down here. All right, here we are up on the next watchtower that I just pointed out. Now this offers a really good sightline, especially if you spawn down here either in this bunker or this barracks or back here. You can run up here and try to catch people running from side bunkers over here to get to the marked room. Now if you come down here and lean out, you're going to be completely protected from the left side, which is the side you would have presumably spawned on if you got up here early enough in the raid. And you can see all the way down here, so when people run through this hole in the fence, you can try to pop a headshot people running down here. Now, about the time they get to the railroad tracks is about where your 100 meters is going to run out, because I do know for a fact that from right here, sitting in this corner, or sitting up there on that balcony is not 100 meters. So if you can keep it beyond that range, you're going to get a 100-meter headshot. I mean, obviously, as long as you hit him in the head. You come from this direction. If you sit far enough back, you can get people running from this spawn over here down this way, because a lot of times people will stay on the downslope of that bunker so they can keep out of the line of sight for people who are sitting over here in the wizard tower, or other people running from that spawn to try to get on top of the bunker or get down below to try to hunt the Bluhar. Now the problem with being up here is anybody who happens to be paying attention that's running from here is going to see you silhouetted across that big bright sky back there. So all they're going to be able to hit is the head. So it's dangerous, but if you catch people unawares, should get you an easy kill. Now this next place we can go here is very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. But it offers some of the longest sight lines of high traffic areas on the map. Now, K Buildings is very highly traveled and very highly contested because you can get Raider spawn here, Gluhar himself can spawn here, as well as the bunkers down here with the hermetic door extract. If you can get up on here on the roof of the train building. You can see all the way down here, all the way on the outside and the inside of this first K building, as well as anybody coming from the night buildings. And if anybody happens to be sitting in the wizard tower, you can see them too, but a lot of people don't really go up there except for player scavs. Again, it's dangerous because you're just as exposed as everybody else is. Your best bet with this is just really hoping that nobody pays attention up here. Now we can also go over to the other side by running through the building. Now you can get up here and look all the way down on top of the bunkers, all the way up into this tower, which is actually going to be our next location that we're going to be going. Oh, you can get out right here. Stupid. Or you can get out here, hop on this machine gun, which isn't going to get you your shooter-borne kill probably, but it's scary and fun to do. And you have pretty much the same angle you had over there, just shooting down this way and shooting down the main train section. So it's another good spot to go. This one offers you a little bit more protection because you don't have the possibility of being seen from the right side, but you do have that the back you got to worry about and from in front of you. All right, here's my next spot. It's actually at the sniper tower on the far corner of the bunker section. It's over by the night buildings. Now, if you lay down here on the steps, you can't really be seen from the left side at all, so over by the RBVO marked room. But you get a good shot at anybody that is on the dome, on the rocks beside the dome, or running in from between long building and the fence. Now, with being unable to be seen from the left side, you can't see anybody coming over there from this specific spot, but you can always just stand up, move over here, and look down that way, which will pretty much give you the same sight line as that tower, just from the opposite direction. Plus you have all this you can see. Now, the little head doinking out here is very easy to get shot. And one thing you have to remember about this spot is if the people have their graphic settings low enough and are camping up at the dome, there is a chance that this building won't render all the way. So people will be taking shots at you, be able to see you through the walls, even if they can't hit you. So while you may be protected from the gunfire, people can still make call outs to their friends that are closer down here and let them know you're up here and they can start eating nades in here. So it's still dangerous. That's one of the risks you take on this task, especially from spots like this with huge sight lines, is the fact that sometimes in this game from a distance, things don't render. All right, my next spot is on the night building closest to the bunkers here. So I think this is the White Knight. Now, you don't have very long sight lines like over towards train yard. I mean, that is over 100 meters, but the chances of actually seeing somebody over there with enough time to line up a headshot and get a good one on them, unless you get just lucky one tap, is pretty slim. You also have sights all the way down here. And usually when people are running this way, they're going to have their back turned to you, so they're not going to see you. So you're going to get 1 or 2 free shots before they can even zero in on where those shots are coming from. And if they notice you up here, you can always duck down, run around, rotate down this way, and end up at a lower level taking pot shots at them again. So it's a pretty good spot, but you do have to watch your back. You can get shot from that night building, and you are wide open from anybody who's sitting on the dome. All right, here we are at the next location. This is down by the Scav checkpoint, or Scav lands extract, I guess it's technically. That little brick building. It's right beside where we started, really. This has a good sightline down the main road that lead to the alarm switch to turn on hermetic door. It gives you a better sightline to that specific location than the tower here, even though you are a little bit lower down. Now, if we scoot back towards the end, you're going to have an easy 100 meters to the drop-down room, which is here, or the rooftop leading up to the drop-down room. You also have a good sightline to King now, or to Queen. Now, I realize this is kind of a poor-looking picture because of all the fog, but on a clear day, that's good. This is going to be 300 meters just about. Plus, the grenade launcher is right about here. It's hard to tell with the fog. And you'll be able to see a head sitting there. So you can get that with about a 300 meter shot. So this is a good spot to sit to. Plus, you're concealed from this way. Nobody can see you. You're concealed from this way unless they're up in that tower. Plus, it's kind of hard to see because you have a nice solid backdrop, so you aren't going to be sticking out against the sky like you would be up in the other towers. I do really like this spot because this is pretty heavily traveled, especially later in the raid. This is one of the few spots you can sit later on in the raid and still hope to get those 100-meter headshots. Now, the last and final spot that we're going to go over in this video is actually up here on the Queen building, which is the dome. Now, obviously, you can get it in the dome and have a little bit more protection, have a little bit lower sight lines, but I'm not going to do that just because this will give me a bigger view of everything you can see. You can see all the way down into this tower, which that is just over 310 meters, I want to say, just for a little bit of a reference. You have all the way down on top of the night buildings. You can hit into the wizard tower if they're in the windows. You can hit on this side of the train station. You can hit down on top of the other bunkers, which that is a hell of a shot. Good luck doing it, but more power to you. The sight line is there. Plus you have all the way down to drop down and on top of both pawn buildings. All of which are over 100 meters. Anybody running out of the power switch for hermetic door, also over 100 meters. So this is a great spot to be if you're looking for the sight lines, but it's a great spot to be. So chances of you being the only one who thinks about that are slim to none, especially at the point in the wipe where other people are going to be trying to get Shooterborn in Heaven kills. So people are going to be looking up here. People are going to be coming here specifically to get those kills themselves. So it's going to be a hard fight if you come up here under equipped. So might I suggest coming up here with something that is semi-auto as opposed to bolt action. So worst case scenario, somebody runs up, you just pop at them as you have to. But the good thing about this location is if you have a Red Rebel, the extract is literally just down on that bottom side of those steps. Or if you don't have a Red Rebel, you can go down through the building here and get to the D2 extract pretty easily. So it's safe in your exfil, but very unsafe while you're camping it out. Now, there are a few honorable mentions I do want to bring up before I go ahead and leave the raid. We're not going to go there because you can just imagine what the sight lines are going to be like. You have a white pawn and black pawn. Now, if you're on this corner, shooting to that corner, that's about 100 meters. Plus, you can hit the windows and the staircases. Other than that, you've got, if you're sitting towards the back a little bit, you can shoot down and drop down. That'll be 100 meters. Plus, you can see a little bit down that way. It's not the best sight lines. You can see down here, but there's not a lot of travel going this way. So it's not the best, but it's usable. Now, the good thing about sitting on black pawn is you can shoot people that are running into or out of the power switch room. And that will also be over 100 meters. I think that about does it for the main spots on reserve. And with that, we're done. We've only got one more episode left from the Shooterborn in Heaven part of the Tasking of Tarkov series. That's going to take us to Shoreline, and we will tackle that next. If there are any questions or ideas or other suggestions you may have regarding Shooterborn in Heaven on reserve, go ahead and hop in the live stream or leave a comment down below. I'm sure I'll see you guys in the next video.